All right, the Minecraft snapshots just keep on rolling in. More progress on the underwater updates. A few things worth touching on. We'll start off with the things that are not underwater. New Phantom texture. I was kind of hoping that they would make it look like a luxury sedan, but what can I say? I think this one is an improvement over the other. You got some like wings that look ghostly with wear and tear on them, some exposed skeleton, and you got these like glowy green eyes. There you go. And then the underside of it, it looks more fleshy, something like that, for lack of a better word. And if you want to trap one without killing it, they seem to have a very difficult time working their way out of open topped one high boxes. So there's that for you. But as before, if you do decide to kill it, it only drops leather. I don't know if that'll change and be more rewarding in time, but anyway, new Phantom texture. Next up, very useful feature. This is great. This is something that has been so useful in mod packs throughout the years, and now finally there's a way to do it in vanilla. Except obviously maps are of limited size in vanilla, but still. So we have a map here. I'm over in the upper right-hand corner. It's just ocean around here, but just bear with me. Look in the upper right-hand corner as I'm doing this. So I'm going to go over to a banner that I have placed on the ground and give it a right click on the bottom, and then you'll notice over the upper right-hand corner of the map, we got a little blue banner that shows up, and it's like a waypoint. If I walk over here, right-click on this one, then we have a little red banner. If I move away just so my player indicator isn't obstructing, there you go. I'm pointing at my screen as if you can see where I'm pointing my finger, but we got in the upper right-hand corner of the map the two banners. So if you want to set waypoints down on your map, you can place these banners wherever, and then you can waypoint yourself. And that's pretty cool, right? And this actually leads into something that I'll show you in just a moment with buried treasure. You may be wondering though, okay, so if I break the banner, does it disappear on the map? And the answer is yes. If you break the banner, it does go bye-bye. So you need to leave the banners out unless you want to lose your waypoint. So they're tied in together, even though unless you right-click on them, it doesn't actually like show up on the map. But if you want to toggle the waypoint and keep the banner there, then you can just right-click again and it'll appear and disappear. So there we go. That's pretty much it for the stuff that's above land. Next up, we'll dive into the water and check out some other things. Here, first off, let's find some of these dudes naturally so I don't have to actually spawn them. So these are tropical fish. You can spawn them in via a tropical fish spawn eggs. We just search this. I can create some. But, that way it's going to be a whole mishmash of a bunch of random ones. Whereas if you find them naturally, you get these little schools of tropical fish that all that's not tropical fish. But they all match up together unless you have this dude just tagging along with the other group. They're like, dude, well, you're in the wrong school. All right. They're over at, wait, I don't even know where, is that one? No. Bunch of different varieties. Anyway, when you find them naturally, they tend to kind of stick together. And, but again, if you just feel like spawning some, there you go. You can get the tropical fish spawning. I don't know if they'll break it down further into different types of species in time, but that's a new addition. Next up, coral. A little bit of tweaking here to the textures. So all of the different corals now have their own unique textures and they have a little plant to go along with them. So we've got the magenta one, magenta plant, blue one, blue plant, pink plant, red plant, yellow, and yellow plant, which I tend to think that these are improvements to the texture plus, nice little new addition. And again, you can find all these if you just search for coral. And then dead, if you build out the water, that's what it's going to look like. So it looks like the endstone texture a little bit. I don't think that one's been changed since last time, but it's dead. So it may as well not look interesting because, should motivate you to want to keep the coral alive. Anywho, next up, some exciting stuff here. Okay, so underwater ruins. I feel like they've been made to be a lot more interesting now. So when we open up the chest, this is completely natural. I did not stage this. I mean, I found the ruin, so I knew the location of it. But this is actually what was in the chest. Much more valuable stuff. So you got a couple of emeralds, which makes it much more worthwhile. And buried treasure map. And this is where it leads into the whole having the banners being able to waypoint. So if we pull this out, we have, I guess it doesn't necessarily lead into it because you can't really make an X. But I wanted to surprise myself. I don't actually know where this is located. So I guess the difficulty here is we have to kind of try to figure out where this area is. I mean, if it's anything like the Woodland Mansions, I suppose this could actually be incredibly far away. I want to see if there's any way If I move around, this might remain a mystery, folks. I was expecting that it would be somewhere nearby, but it's not looking entirely likely. Well, on the plus side, though, for anyone who might be disappointed if I'm not able to find this for the time being, the buried treasure hasn't actually been implemented yet. The chest is there, I think, but the treasure that will be inside, which is supposedly valuable, it's not been implemented. So even if I don't find this, you're not missing much. But the concept is here. So you go into one of the underwater ruins, and you can find one of these maps. And while I wanted to surprise myself, it would appear that this is going to be far more difficult than I had anticipated. You know what? Scratch that. I changed my mind. What can I say? Yar, the allure of the buried treasure could not be resisted. I say like the worst pirate accent ever. Sure enough, north is to the top of the map, east is to the right of the map. And so I went northeast by a little bit. It didn't take too long. And here we go. The map is filling in as I move along, and we're about to run into the X marks the spot right over here on this little peninsula. Oh boy. Oh, what do we have here? Is it already exposed? I don't know how deep it is. I don't have any information other than buried treasure exists, and you find a map to it in the underwater ruins. Oh my god, I found it. I was so worried that because I was in creative mode and I was just spam left-clicking to break blocks, I was going to accidentally destroy the chest as soon as I stumbled upon it. But here it is. I've not looked inside yet. It might be empty. It's a distinct possibility. But, oh, buddy. Hey, there we go. Okay. Found some gold, some emeralds, some fish, because we all know that I'm imagining this treasure chest. Like in a movie, they find a treasure chest, they open it up, and it's just a bunch of dead fish laying on top of some treasure. Like, why did you do that? Why did you bury dead fish with your treasure? Is it to ward off people? They're going to smell it and be like, I don't want this, even though it's underwater, so you know you're not really going to smell it. Anyway, 16 gold, 1 iron, 10 emeralds, not bad. 4 cooked salmon and 4 cooked cod, so that you can have some nice food after you've spent all this time. Good Lord, can you imagine not being in creative mode and doing this? How much I just dug out. Let me see. How much is it on the X marks the spot? Okay, it's pretty much on there. Maybe just slightly south of it. So it's not exact, but it's pretty close. So I guess you can trust that the X marks the spot's not like a range. It's kind of right there. Which is helpful to know. But there we go. Our first buried treasure, and it will in the future, I guess, include something unique and fancier that hasn't been implemented. So there we go. Not bad. Couple more real quick things. You're going to have to listen for this one, so I'm going to go quiet for a second. But there's new underwater ambient sounds just for when you're swimming around. It's nothing too dramatic, but it's there. There's also, if we can find a divide between biomes here we go. You'll notice that there's a shift in the coloring. So it's much more like tropical turquoise there, and then we head into more of a cold ocean biome, and it gets more of a dark blue. You can kind of keep crossing over and see the difference back and forth. There we go, dark blue, and then more of a tropical turquoise. And then you can tell the difference via all the tropical fish swimming around in the tropical biome. And then one more thing I forgot to mention earlier with the banners. So if you name a banner, so let's destroy this one. We'll put it in here and we'll call it, even though actually, okay, this is already, I've named it home. I was testing this out. Here, let's grab a new one, put it into here, and we'll name it home. From red banner, put it down, and now if we take our map here and we do the click, not only is it a red banner, but it's named on the map as well, so that if you don't want to just have to rely on the colors to know exactly which waypoint is which, you can name the banner, and then you'll have a better idea as to where things are. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this week's snapshot. Good timing as the sun sets. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Make sure to like if you like. Check the playlist in the description if you want to catch previous features. Get more context on anything you just saw that you might not have been familiar with. And subscribe if you're not already. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.